just tell myself, oh, that's just because I'm being emotional, because what I was being emotional about was hidden, you know? Um, and then I realized probably a few years ago that I would say about 6 or 7 years ago, I was not doing well at keeping those boxes shut. So even though I had a placeholder for my box of trauma, it would seep out and come out through me, which is because I wasn't dealing with it. And then I would say probably about 2014 is when I actually started Spartan racing. And that made me feel really good. It made me feel good because I felt good doing it. Like, it gave me a sense of purpose. My best friend and I would do it together. It was nice to travel. And it was something I just wanted to keep getting better at. And so I started training and I started doing well. And I started taking care of my physical body more. And I broke my leg my first year of Spartan. In 2015, I broke my leg in Spartan racing. It was in August or September of that year, which set me back because I had to have surgery. And then I said, okay, I'm going to come back. And so I came back the next year and did not do well as far as I finished. I finished every race, so that was good. But I was just finishing, which is still finishing. And then the next year I decided I really wanted to start training, and I started training harder and kept taking care of my physical body. And again, that gave me a way to kind of push through everything else. And I was taking care of my physical body, and I eventually met my husband and married him, and I was taking care of him, and I was taking care of my stepdaughter who's disabled or who has a disability. And I have a good job, and I was taking care of all this stuff. But I didn't realize I really wasn't taking care of me. I had gone through a few things on and off throughout the years. Like, I did therapy, and I was like, oh, that's really not working for me. I did medication. I'm like, but to me, it was like, if I just keep pushing things aside, it's like, no, I'm good. And then every once in a while telling somebody, oh, I'm not good. I would think that was enough. I really wasn't. I wasn't doing enough for me. I really wasn't. And then I came to this realization last year actually, because I always thought even though I didn't have it under control, I had things under control. And then last November, my last dog that I had, Murphy, he passed away. And I knew, and I told my husband prior to him passing, I said, honey, we really should get another dog before Murphy passes. And this was before he got sick. I said, because if we don't, I'm going to lose it. And my husband was like, no, you'll be fine. Like, you've been managing. You do really well. Like, when you have anxiety attacks, you keep it under control. When you get depressed, you bring it back. Like, my husband is great, but he didn't know how bad it was inside. So I was trying to tell him, when I lose Murphy, if there's not something else here to hold all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I said, but I didn't tell him that, but that's what was happening. I said, it's not going to be good. And then Murphy got spinal cancer, and he was fine one day, and 3 weeks later we had to let him go. And when I lost him, I came home. And even though my husband was here, and even though my stepdaughter who relies on me was here, and even though I had all my family, I never felt so alone in my life. Mm. I felt that I had died. A piece of me had died. And really it did, because this soul, this being that kept coming down, from one dog to another, kept holding something for me. And now it was not there to hold. And I didn't know what to do. And I was putting all that on my loss of Murphy. But wow, did I have such an attachment, because the purpose that he held for me. And then I